Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
I was just listening to another popular CEO of Hawaii talk about the difference between somebody that's really good at process and executing as opposed to the CEO. And he said, usually if somebody can execute and they're involved in the process, they can't lead and they can't be a CEO. Being that you've done both, what's your view on that? And, you're doing it. Successfully.
I'm probably not good at either. I'm just trying to stay out of really good people's way to do what they do. There's an element that's true about that. But, you realize, let me come back to a situation that many younger people face. At some early stage of your career, you're probably not going to be a strategist. You're going to have to get your pick and your shovel, and you're going to have to dig some holes. Later on, you can decide where the hole goes. But sort of in your first several years out there, and there are exceptions to this rule, you need to have some kind of process talent. People also have the ability to kind of transcend from digging the hole to deciding where the hole is going to be. So for many of us, and you spend years involved in making things happen in the operating side of the business, many day-to-day activities, and maybe you think about so what's the structure, how could it be better, and all of those things, but you don't have the chance to express it that much. And then there are other people, who just like to dig holes. So I wouldn't necessarily, especially early on in the first 5 or 10 years, if you're an engineer and you've got to do engineering work, and yet maybe later on in life you want to design products or you want to use the expression of your engineering talent to create something, that's a great evolution to go through. And I think some of the best people are those who have taken a period of their life, hopefully it's the beginning of their career rather than the end, and they've developed some very specific set of what you call process capabilities, whether they're in finance and marketing, in engineering, in operations, whatever the discipline is, and legal, whatever it is, but they've developed a core of real understanding and depth. And then the people that can kind of walk outside that process are the people that are in a very, very commanding position to actually have the ability to understand process as well as to kind of have more ability to control strategy and direction. I think if you start out as a strategist, I think you're going to end very quickly. I mean, they're brilliant people, and there are a few in Hawaii that I don't think had to spend a day of their life digging the holes, and obviously in a figurative sense. But for most of us, you really need to go through this apprenticeship of spending some years. Like I did, I ran the port of Hilo when I was 29. A couple of years before that, I was doing the MBA things, and I'm doing little spreadsheets and all of that. And now I'm 29 or 30, and I've got stevedores that are big people who are talking to me. And the difference is that in the job I had in Hilo, running the port, my problems would generally be 6 inches away, and I'd be looking up to them. And there's a lot to be learned by having both a process set of skills and then to go through and to have lots and lots of different repetitions on how to show it. I liked it. I ran food distribution businesses. I've been involved with putting a gold mine up in the Arctic Circle. I've been involved with shipping, agriculture, real estate, environmental businesses. And I think that it's great to develop yourself and have a special skill set, but to show it in maybe 2 or 3 different industries and sets. And then that's going to give you an ability to kind of transcend from one business model to another a lot easier.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.